Welcome to CTV News, Your Canada. It is Thursday, July the 31st. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
After months of training, it all comes down to this.
I'm feeling good, feeling ready for the race, but definitely it's a mix of nerves and excitement.
Olin Bradford and 5 of his friends participating in the first ever Ironman triathlon to be held in Ottawa this weekend.
People are coming into Ottawa, tourists and other competitors and friends and family, so it's really exciting. There's definitely a lot of buzz about it.
I'm pretty confident in my swimming, and then the bike, I think maybe the first 120 kilometers, I think will be pretty comfortable. And then the other 60 and then the running will be a little bit more rough.
It's a 3.8 kilometer two-loop swim in the Ottawa River, followed by a 180 kilometer bike ride and then a full marathon, 42.2 kilometers.
The bike is something I look forward to and I'm a little nervous about. It's the longest part of the race, so it's the most important, but it's also the part I like the most.
Training for it all, grueling.
Yeah, the training has been pretty crazy, doing anywhere from 10 hours to 18 hours training a week.
For this group, it's deeply personal. They're raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society in honor of Tyler Booth's mom, Carol, who passed away in March.
I think it's incredibly hard, but that's what keeps me kind of going and thinking about while I'm on the bike, while I'm in the run, it's nothing compared to what she went through.
These friends with each other every step of the way.
I'm so grateful to the team. I would not be in this type of physical shape if it wasn't for them. I definitely could not have done it alone. I am just feeling blessed to know such a great group of guys.
And they're in it together, even if some thought they were signing up for a Spartan race, more of an obstacle course at first, but they stuck with it. Some of the guys have an ideal race time in mind. Others, though, just want to finish that race.
Creating more running room for man's best friend.
I think it gives everyone the shared ability to use lots of fields and spaces in the city of Guelph, and with that it does give shared responsibility.
With dozens of these fields available, there's plenty of space for both people and pets.
This bylaw, where it gave authority to allow 41 different sports fields to be used as leash-free zones when no one was occupying that sports field.
The bylaw was first passed in 2019, but the city has been bringing attention to the program as of late, and local sports clubs don't seem to mind.
It's been great. I haven't seen any negative to it, to be honest. The people are outside enjoying the park space, which is wonderful, but we're not using it, and it just allows people using these beautiful parks all the time.
The spaces are for people first, pets second.
Dog owners must maintain control of their dogs at all time, clean up after them, and if the sports field does become occupied, they'd have to remove their dog.
With consequences for those who don't follow the rules.
We always start with education, then we move to warnings if needed, and then we do lay charges if necessary.
It's been great. Dog owners are really good at taking care of themselves.
A full list of off-leash areas can be found on our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Ashley Bacon, CTV News, Guelph.
The Canadian National Exhibition is a quintessential part of summer and employment in the city.
Really excited, actually. I've been waiting for the past months, and finally I'm ready for the opportunity.
According to the CNE, the exhibition is one of the city's largest seasonal employers.
The CNE is such an important tradition, and if you talk to people, you're going to find very quickly somebody who says their first job was at the CNE.
The CNE says a record 54,000 people registered for roughly 5,000 positions available this season.
I hope I get one. I'm nervous. It is my first time, so I'll see how it goes.
According to Statistics Canada's June 2025 labor force survey, youth unemployment hit 14.2%, up 0.7 percentage points year over year. That rate remaining significantly above the pre-pandemic average of 10.8% recorded between 2017 and 2019.
There's a lot of demand for work right now, for sure, but there's some really exciting opportunities.
Doors opened at 11 a.m. at the Enercare Center with a line for those pre-registered and another for those unregistered and waiting to also get in, wrapping around the inside of the building.
I am a newcomer to Canada and on a PR also. So I'm looking for some job opportunities, and CNE gives me an opportunity to go ahead with that.
I've been looking for a job the second I turned 16. Nowhere's hiring. And I feel like CNE is just the perfect place to get my first job.
For Andrew Moda, owner of Festival Beast, looking to fill just over 100 positions, he said what made successful candidates stand out was their enthusiasm.
People come to the festival for the excitement, the energy, and if your staff doesn't have that, you just need that to make the whole experience come together. So that's what we do. We can teach the rest.
Her summit was a time to celebrate getting a job.
The worker said she liked the personality, she liked my energy, so I got hired.
It feels good, especially as a young person, to see like older people recognize that in you. It feels good.
And for others, it's still a waiting game.
Applied to 2 places so far, and neither of them have responded to me, but to be fair, one of them was only hiring like 1 person.
The Canadian National Exhibition begins on August 15th and runs all the way through to Labor Day on September 1st. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
Probably in about a week, we'll be able to pick this.
Farmers are harvesting bountiful crops, and local markets are stocked with sweet and fresh Ontario corn. Harris Farms over in Springwater Township specializes in sweet corn and has crews picking them out at 7 a.m. each morning. But the lack of rain and heat stress has impacted their corn stocks.
This year has been the driest in several years, and so it does add to the stress. We are harvesting less corn than is ideal. You know, if we have excess corn, we're selling it to maybe some other wholesalers who are selling it at their own store. This year it is down in yields. You might see a cob with little imperfections, and that's often due to the heat.
Just so fresh from the farm.
Just amazing.
Picked daily. So you know it's fresh, and yeah, we just enjoy the sweet corn. We wait for when it starts.
Harris Farms offers 3 varieties. Their peaches and cream is now available to purchase in store, and they hope to start picking yellow sweet corn this weekend.
Now I get to chase my kids and say, "Don't make me take my foot off."
Kim Labonte lost her right leg in October 2024. Less than 10 months later, she's learning how to live with a prosthetic.
It's kind of a love-hate relationship so far.
Love because of this.
I can finally do the stairs. I love that I can stand up and walk and stand up to put my clothes away and just stand up and walk.
Labonte quips she's forgotten how tall she is.
When we are out and about and I'm in my chair, I'm at everybody's butt level. When I finally get to stand up, it's like, oh my God, that's what it looks like up here.
On the other hand, her phantom pains are back.
My leg hasn't had any weight on it for 9 months. When I put it on in the morning, even though my toes are silicone, I feel my toes move.
It's exhausting learning how to walk again, she says. 3 blocks does her in, but she never gives up.
I got my driver's license back. I can now drive with my left foot.
Labonte is waiting on the insurance company to settle her claim so she can buy a new car and get back behind the wheel, even though she says it was an inattentive driver who caused these injuries in the first place. Labonte hopes her story motivates drivers to focus on the road every time.
I just want people to open up their eyes. It takes 1 second. I almost lost my life.
In Windsor, Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
In large newspapers, that's important.
It's a walk down memory lane for the team at Halifax Harbour Bridges, digging up historical artifacts and preserving documents dating back to before construction on these bridges even began.
In the last 3 years, that some of the material that has some historic value it's not stored correctly, it's not in the right kind of place. We just put it out of sight, out of mind. And if we don't do it now, then when are we going to do it? And we'll start to lose things that are important.
They hired a summer archivist student to protect these antiques and decipher what has historic value and what doesn't.
I start going through boxes and I pull out files and I just go from beginning to end. I don't change anything in it. I don't move around files, and I start adding things into a database so that people can find it.
An Excel spreadsheet highlighting titles, descriptions, dates, and subjects. making it easy to go back and search.
These are great because you can see all the names of people who used to be here.
We'll have conversations with archives to say, what do they want for public access, and what are we going to keep for a museum or a display?
Elliot only began this role 2 weeks ago and has already discovered many interesting finds.
So many pictures, so many news clippings, minutes from very back in the beginning of the construction of the bridges, all the way up to the present. Antique teacups that were made at the beginning of the bridge's history.
And now the public can get involved too.
We'll have a table at Bridge Walk this year that people can bring in their artifacts, they can bring in their old photos that they really don't know what to do with, and we'll look after them.
For those that aren't able to attend Sunday's Bridge Walk to drop off memorabilia, they can contact Halifax Harbour Bridges to set up a time to donate their artifacts. Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
For those who served, the return to civilian life is not always easy, according to Jamie Hackland.
A lot of fellows come away from their service with many problems, and so I suppose that has a lot to do with it.
The Canadian Navy veteran and resident of the Parkwood Veterans Care Program was in the crowd when plans for a new veterans village were unveiled. The initiative aims to support the estimated 200 veterans in London and the surrounding areas who are living on the streets.
This project is for you. Sorry. You have served our country, and now it's our time to serve you with care, with dignity, and with lasting support.
The village will be right here on the grounds of Parkwood, 25 tiny homes, the lives of 25 veterans made better by the supports close at hand. The village will house a resource center, community gardens, and recreational area. Each home is 300 square feet and fully furnished.
And more importantly, it's a community. And it's right here on Parkwood, where historically the veterans have been looked after.
Add some structure to their life, assign a social worker to a caseworker to rebuild that citizen. So filling in those gaps.
More than 2/3 of the $4 million project has been funded by all 3 levels of government. Private contributions are being sought to cover the balance. Construction begins this year with an opening date set for next spring.
Some of these veterans can be stubborn, and hopefully you can get the place filled up, and a lot of guys will have a better quality of life because of it.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
It's like a detective card game that we're working on.
Here at Montreal's Indie Asylum, independent video game studios work out of the same space and support one another. The province's gaming industry has grown exponentially since Indie Asylum's general manager Chris Chansey first started out.
I started my studio in 2014, and there was like maybe 30 studios at the time. Now we're about at 350 studios in Quebec.
Despite this growth, Chansey says it's not always easy to find work, especially since the province announced cuts to multimedia tax credits last year.
Right now, because of the economic, climate, the tariffs, there's less investment in video games because everyone's a little tighter, the interest rates are up, and now this tax credit getting cut. Well, obviously, people are not hiring.
The market is especially tough for junior developers. So a few weeks ago, Indie Asylum started curating a job board for the Quebec gaming industry on the popular chat platform Discord.
Our staff finds all of the current job offers, and we'll create these little vignettes that people can click on.
A one-stop shop that more than 1,800 people have already joined.
It's been extremely positive. So our Discord server doubled in size since we announced this, which speaks to the issue.
Indie Asylum can do this because it gets funding from the city and province. There are 15,000 jobs in the video game industry in Quebec, but Chansey says every year more than 1,000 new grads are looking for work. He adds companies are already contacting them directly with job postings.
Sometimes it just takes someone to give momentum to a project, and then people kind of organize themselves. So we're just supporting in the background right now.
Soon they'll start surveying members to see if the project is helping them land their dream job. Angela McKenzie, CTV News.
I've kept a running list of your most unintentionally hilarious quotes.
Earlier this month, while exchanging vows at a wedding in South Florida,
I once told you I love you, and you said, I love chicken nuggets.
One groom decided to read words from his bride.
I was thinking, oh wow, we're going there. All right, let's do this.
This speech from Adam and Sydney's wedding ceremony has since picked up millions of views on social media as folks hear Adam catalog some of the most memorable lines his now wife has delivered over the years.
You declared, I'm a cinematographer, while eating a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
One commenter writes, I'm jealous he gets to marry this legend.
Some of the comments were like, damn, he's roasting her. Did you feel in your heart this was a roast?
Not at all. It comes from a place of love.
For the record, what Adam refers to as the notes first started being compiled about 8 years ago, a few months after these two then University of Miami students started dating.
She said something and I was like, that is so funny. We're gonna laugh about that someday.
Sydney says she thought it was cute Adam found her so hilarious, but she had no idea that one day many of them would be read aloud in front of her closest friends and family. For example, her take on firefighters.
When we drove by a truck full of firemen, you said, oh, the fire extinguishers are here.
And a reference to their siblings. Two professional musicians who performed at their wedding.
When you go to that show where you win music, make sure you bring us. That's called the Grammys.
But Sydney says this all just shows how much they love to laugh together.
I think it's so sweet and it's hilarious and it's like a true reflection of our relationship.
Madison Tevlin often gets over 1 million likes when she posts to social media. This month, Madison is in Regina to star in a romantic comedy. It's being shot in several locations around the city and in Fort Capel.
Well, this is about Emma, who is a young adult who has Down syndrome, and she is in pursuit of finding the love of her life.
So, Evan actually thinks he has a girlfriend?
The film is written and directed by Lucas Frazon and is inspired by his earlier short film production called Pen Pals.
Just showing people with different disabilities on our screen that's what you see out in the world, and you know, the actors that we have in these roles are extremely talented, super funny. It's a coming of age romantic comedy, so it's putting them front and center and they're knocking it out of the park.
I'm gonna ask her to meet me in real life.
The movie is called One Perfect Date and is one of the larger productions being shot in Saskatchewan this summer. It's due for release in theaters next year. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
He's a retired geologist, but has painted all his life. Now Stephen Bend has more time to explore his abstract art, but what he learned as a 4-year-old has stuck with him.
It was my aunt who corrected how I would hold the pencil, hold the paintbrush, and I remember telling me, you've got to load your paintbrush, and she even taught me how to put 2 or 3 colors on one paintbrush.
Ben submitted this piece that he painted for his wife Phyllis called Passion Ascending. He did it in secret over 5 months and says it's a celebration of their love and passion and being together for almost 46 years.
I had one interesting interaction with one of the curators, a lady, who said that, you know, this was one piece that really spoke to her.
The whole adventure was sparked by his son Christopher, who pushed Stephen to submit some of his work and share it with a larger audience than just family and friends.
He was producing such a quantity of high-quality works that it was a shame to just have them sitting around the house. And so it originally started with just me sending him a few galleries on Instagram, really small ones, castings for artists.
Ben says he was filled with emotion when he learned his painting had been accepted into the London Art Biennale 2025.
The curators stated that they had 10,000 submissions and that their basic criteria was that all the pieces were going to be of museum quality, which means that, you know, they perhaps belong in a gallery in some way. So that was intimidating, and that held me back from submitting, and it was, again, because of Chris pushing and pushing and pushing.
Now Ben says he enjoyed attending the opening event in London so much that he's working on a piece to submit for next year's Biennale in Italy. Kemp Fleming, CTV News, Canmore.
Lucy opened its doors on 17th Avenue Southwest in April. Owners say bookings have been steady, partly because it's new, but also because more Albertans are dining out.
Well, it feels good for us and for the industry overall. It has been hard years, and now after COVID, things have improved.
Some people are definitely still feeling the effects of the pandemic. I think most of us are, but it's a huge relief to be where we are.
ATB Financial analyzed data from Statistics Canada. Compared to the first 5 months of 2024, year over year, restaurant sales in Alberta have grown by 5.2%. It gives the Boucher family confidence they expanded at the right time.
It doesn't matter what day of the week, has been Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, has been busy every day, so we definitely can see that.
The chief economist at ATB Financial says Alberta continues to see strong population growth. There's more local activity as Canadians limit travel abroad. But the pandemic and recent inflation crisis means that although there is growth, the starting point for hospitality was low.
It's still in some ways not back to normal for restaurants coming out of COVID. They've seen their costs go up. Consumers are still pretty cautious these days. Unemployment rate's elevated.
For restaurant patrons, getting an experience that can't be replaced at home is worth it.
Supporting local businesses is important for our Calgary economy.
But we do enjoy it. We enjoy the atmosphere. So when we can and when the kids are calm enough, we eat out as frequently as we can. Yvonne Muse is visiting the blue ocean after enduring gray water backing up at home.
I am waiting for the plumber to finish his job.
Now, he could have done anything during the next couple hours, but Yvonne decided to do this.
I noticed that there was some litter and I started picking it up.
While he makes the effort to deal with too many discarded things and places the occasional forgotten ones somewhere more prominent,
maybe the person will come back and pick it up.
Yvonne also wears the pins he suspects have fallen from people's lapels, including this poppy.
Yeah, I found it on the sidewalk and I decided to wear it every day.
To remember.
All year round.
To never forget. Although he doesn't need to be reminded to pick up litter.
Well, it makes me feel better.
As opposed to when he couldn't have felt worse.
Struggling in addiction was a slow downward spiral.
Yvonne had descended beyond rock bottom.
My self-esteem was just deteriorating with my mind as well,
Before finally finding professional support.
Well, they're like angels. It's really amazing.
Then, one day, Yvonne noticed an empty bag on the ground.
Well, why don't I just start filling it with more litter? And so I did that, and you just get into a flow of it.
And there was something about being of service in such a natural setting that proved profoundly positive.
It changed my outlook on life tremendously.
Yvonne says he was inspired to actively show his respect and appreciation for the world by doing this every chance he gets, which has helped him maintain being sober and drug-free ever since.
Celebrating 1 year of that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And while he may have to call a plumber to fix his pipes, Yvonne has found that the best way to rehabilitate his life is to give back to this place and its people in whatever way he can.
It makes me feel better about being alive.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.